Welcome to Bad Cold Outreach. This is episode 5. I'm Luke.
That's Luke.
And he's Devin.
I'm Devin.
And we're and we're here to break down some of the worst copy we have ever received. We all get bad sales, people trying to message us, trying to steal our money, and we're here to showcase why they're doing it wrong and how we would do it better.
We're going to showcase the right way to steal money.
First. But so I have a couple things here today of people that have personally messaged me through LinkedIn. And in fact, and so the first one you can see here, this gentleman, and this is why the reason I chose this is this will become obvious in a second, okay? So first, it looks off like a normal LinkedIn message, right? Also, I love the tagline of I help businesses grow by finding them new customers online and taking their company's image to the next level, which means nothing except new customers online is the only thing which actually means anything. And even then, what does online mean? Does it mean Facebook ads? Does it mean SEO? Does it mean...
Well, I'm always impressed when I talk to people and I tell them that I'm a digital marketer and they ask me, what does that mean? Because that means they know that I haven't told them anything.
Yep. And they're smart, and they know. Well, they know digital marketing. They know what they actually know the field.
Yep.
So at first, I love that tagline because it's every person's tagline who's trying to get into your inbox. And so the first message goes, "You want to read this in his voice?"
Oh, okay. I'll read it in his voice. Luke, I'm looking for business owners to connect with. I'm not selling anything, but looking for a referral partner. I would like to source out any social media management work to other companies. If you're interested, let's connect.
What does he mean? What is he asking for?
He's looking for social media management.
So he's looking to hire me as a social media manager.
No.
Is that what you get out of that?
No, he's looking to pass. He's looking to pass the clients that he doesn't want onto you. Is what I get out of that.
Oh, that's wild. Okay, that makes sense. Because when I saw that, I was like, what does I'm like, what do you mean though? And that's where it comes
goal, his goal is I'm gonna send you people who want social media management, and then you're gonna learn through further conversations probably what I want you to send to me as response, because I'm looking for referral partners.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so he goes into more depth in later messages, but there's the key part of this, I think, that really confused me is that I would like to source out any social media management work to you. Then I'm like, oh, I understand what you mean. I probably would have replied. I'm like, oh, I understand what you mean. And guess what? I have connections to actually make that happen. So we could have actually had a partnership here. But at the time, and this was back in 2018. So I was young and dumb back then. And still am right now, saying it before you do, Devin. But right, that would have been like, oh, I understand what you actually mean. Especially back then, I was very new at LinkedIn. I was newer at LinkedIn. All right. Then he messages me again, a few days later, right? 3 days later, says, okay, I'm gonna try to do your voice.
You gotta do the same voice. Yeah.
I gotta do the same voice. Yep. Luke, Luke, thanks for connecting. If you're wanting to take on more social media clients, I would love to send them your way. Let's schedule a call to learn about each other's businesses. But before we do that, I would like to know, A, can you work with remote clients anywhere in the country? B, does your company build websites, or do you have someone to send web work to? I'm looking forward to your answer. Thanks, Sam. Here's the reason why this is just so weird to me is that on its own, if I saw this as an email, I'd be like, oh, he's trying to find partners to work with. And if he called me, I'm like, hey, I saw your company. I thought it was really interesting. I think what you do is really unique. I'd love to, add you as a partner to take on some, because we have too much work and we'd like to hand off some of that work to you. Or even if he sent that as a LinkedIn messages, that would be like, oh, okay, got it. This way, it's very obvious it's a stock response. So he doesn't actually care about me, which says that he doesn't actually care about the quality of work that he does. And he doesn't care about the quality of people that he works with, unless he did some extreme vetting and then sent a stock message. Which in that case, why on earth would you do that? So that's why I was like, okay, interesting. And by the way, I was reading this again, just earlier today when I found this. And I was like, wow, I know exactly my response when I saw this for the first time is, oh, I mean, I was still pretty new to LinkedIn. And I was like, oh, it's just a spam message. I'm not even gonna read it. I'm gonna skim it and be like, oh, let's talk. They're not actually talking to me. And I was I guess I was a little older at that time. 5 days later, just following up again. Are you still interested in connecting? Let me know and I'll send you my calendar link. I want to ask you a question, Devin. Are you in favor of putting that calendar link immediately or giving it to them once they ask for it?
That's an interesting question. So I kind of have a philosophy when it comes to cold outreach. Well, first off, I guess I don't do fully cold outreach almost ever.
Right.
So I guess my main strategy really doesn't even apply to cold outreach. But I don't think I'd give you a link without any interaction because I mean I know you're not going to click on it until we engage. So.
Yep. All right. That's what I thought. That's what I thought you said. And that's the things that I think. Yeah, when it's more warm, you're like, hey, by the way, let's talk. Calendar link.
Oh, definitely
cold,
not. Definitely not. No.
Oh, definitely not.
Definitely not. No.
You like scheduling things personally.
It depends on how they
Yeah.
got there in the first place and how warm it
Yep.
is. The primary strategy that I use most often to get people into a messenger conversation is something that you would call a two-step, which is basically like the organic version of a opt-in page, where they reacted to something that I posted where I promised something. So now I'm hitting them up to give them that thing I promised. So I get all the information out of them that I need before I give them the thing that I promised. And in the way that I structure that conversation, the conversation gets all that information because they want that thing. So then I give them a link, but after I get everything that I needed, if they don't sign up. But you're right that there's the other strategy that I use, especially in like local networking groups, is I just hit people up immediately and ask if they want to do a one-on-one. And when I do that, I like to schedule it in person by like just having that conversation, which takes a little bit more time, but it feels a little bit more genuine to me. So then I put something on the calendar and then I send them a calendar invite.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think it is interesting though is that I feel like people, and the reason why I don't mind using calendar links pretty liberally is that, first of all, I sometimes use them in my own like personal life when someone's trying to talk to me or something like, hey, can we get a coffee? Like, yeah, here. Not oftentimes, but sometimes I do, especially if I'm busy. Then I'm like, I don't know when I'm free. My calendar does. The other thing is I feel like people are used to them by now to where because I know some people that expect it, that ask for it, like send me your calendar link. Because they know that that's the way most people conduct business. And that's why I personally don't mind. But yeah, I agree. When you're talking to someone...
Well, it's the same philosophy as like, if you want to have an actual conversation with somebody, first goal is to have it in person. When you can't, then you want to have it over a video call. When you can't, then you have it over a cell phone. And when you can't, then messaging. But then the real answer is say, okay, well, then we'll just schedule that time when we can.
Right.
And it's the same philosophy of like, you just give as much of a personal touch as you can afford every time you can, because that's just a genuinely better way to treat people.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just, yeah. I think that's the real factor when it comes to me choosing to send a calendar link is I'm like, I'd have to find my calendar. I'd have to pull up my calendar. I'd have to find a time. Then I'd have to coordinate with you. I mean, if I'm available. Like, there's some weeks where I don't have meetings scheduled, or I have very few meetings. So I'm like, look, I'm pretty much open. Just name the time. And there's some weeks where I'm like, I have 3 very specific hours of my time available. And I'll either, if that's the case, I'll send them to you, or if I don't know when I'm available, I'll just send you the link. But yeah, okay, that's interesting. I wanted to get your take on that, because I don't think we've had, just personally as well, I don't think we've ever discussed it. Then.
Well, my opinions on it are also like very malleable, right?
Right, exactly.
Like the climate changes, so what you do changes, right?
Right, exactly. Then I want you to notice this message was August 6th, 2018. This message is December 16th, 2019. Already very interesting.
Later.
Yeah, very interesting. And I'm like, and here's my thought process, okay? And this is why this makes me laugh, okay? He is doing something new a year later, and he's like, "Oh, I have this LinkedIn list that I used. I'll just use it again for this different thing that I'm doing." And never thinking about like, oh, it's gonna be a year. They never answered, so why would they answer again a year and a half later or a year and 3 months later? And you want to do the final one?
Can you help me out real quick, Luke? If you could learn one of the following things for your business, what would it be?
I hate it.
How to create and manage my own website and make it look professional? How to use my website to get more customers? How to use social media to get more customers? Or something else? Please explain in more detail. I'm looking forward to your answer. Thanks.
Oh, I hate that. I never want to hear that voice ever again.
Sucks for you. That's gonna be my DM voice. That's gonna be every PC character.
Nope. I refuse. I'm leaving the campaign. But so here's okay. I wonder if you noticed this, Devin, and I want you because this is my huge thing about this one. The way it's phrased makes it sound like he's about to sell me something. Do you want to learn one of these things? Not, hey, curious, I'm conducting some research and I want to find out what's the one thing that you find your business needing most. That was for an article I'm writing. Then I can respond with A. Look forward to reading that article, you know? But because he said what thing you want to learn, he made it sound like, oh, if what I respond with, he's going to respond back with a sale. Being like, oh, I have that thing. You should buy it from me. And I hate it so much. And the fact that he spent a year and 3 months to get back to me with this makes me a little sad that, like, come on, dude. You had so much going for you. Do you have any comments? I have a funny thing to end with, but do you have any?
No, I mean everything about just this one is just lackluster. There's nothing that stands out as like uniquely terrible or horrific, and there's nothing that's really good either. It's just very, very plain to me. Very. So like, and I mean, for whoever he is, like, you have a list, and you're doing something, and you think, you know what? Why not hit up that list? That's a good thing to think. Like, right. That's what you do. You don't let those go to complete waste. No matter how old they are, there's a chance, and that chance is worth taking it, because if nothing works, you're where you're at anyway. So go ahead and try.
Yep.
So like I see nothing wrong with that as far as that's in business what you should be doing. And then like I actually the general it's really hard to write a message that starts off with asking for help that then doesn't get people to be willing to help you. So that's actually something that's like structurally this last one is actually pretty bad in that regard. In general, you can reach out to almost anybody, regardless of how big they are, how high profile they are. You can reach out to almost anybody and say, "Hey, can you help me out? And then ask for, like, explain what you're doing, what you need help with, and ask for 15 minutes of their time." And most people will say yes to that. Yeah. Most people will get on the phone with you if you start off by just saying, "Hey, can you help me out?" Or "I want your advice." That it works. So then to go from that to writing a message that makes people not respond, well, that's a pretty bad message.
Yeah. And the fact that like it's such a simple ask too, and it would have worked if it wasn't phrased as like a waiting to sell.
Right.
Like a leading question. That's the word I was trying to think of. Yeah, it's a leading question.
Oh, that's what it sounds another like. Point too. That message above it where he says, "Following up again, are you still interested in connecting?" Personally, I guess I'm confrontational enough that I would almost respond to that message over. I would actually respond to that message over anything else. And my response to that message would be, "I don't think I said I was interested in connecting at all."
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like,
You
how
said,
did-
"Are you still interested in
Right.
connecting?"
Well, right. Well, I couldn't still be interested because I was never interested.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
I,
Huh?
I, I would come up
Should
with
I
some.
reply 2 years later?
I would come up with some snarky response personally to that message, and I'd be like, excuse me, I'm pretty sure I pointed out by ignoring you that I wasn't interested.
Yep. Yep. And it's funny, and also the one thing too, like the big thing to take away from it is how much your tagline debate tells me whether I want to talk to you or not. Because if someone seems like I get contacted by so many people who are in the business of helping people grow their business, and I'm like,
those are the only people who really have the need to reach out in this format.
right.
Generally
Yeah.
speaking.
But that's the way they phrase it. And I know immediately what the conversation's going to be like. I know immediately what, like almost always what they're going to try to sell. It's like a list of like what, 3 to 5 things. And so I'm just not interested. Versus if you have a very specific ask, like in my byline, I'm proud of my byline. I have a very specific ask. And a very specific list of things that I do. And so, that's I did that on purpose, so that way, if I contact someone, they know why I'm contacting them.
Right.
Because
and that's another thing too, actually. Like I'm gonna call out the entire industry on this. If you're a marketer and you like are helping businesses grow by like running ads and or by doing anything that's in that realm and that umbrella of like digital marketing, and your tagline says that I help people get customers. Well, no, you don't. You obviously suck. Like because like a massive part of marketing is copywriting, and it's writing
Yep.
good hooks, and it's being unique. And
Yep.
you're not unique, so you're probably just not good at your job. Probably.
Yeah. So I wanna bring up one final thing too to end on, something that I just found funny. That's in my this person. Let's clarify before I show you this, Devin.
All right.
This person is in my my network asking right now, in this little button up here, my network, asking me to connect with them right now. Okay? This was a couple days ago, I think they requested to connect with me, okay? This is their opening message, because you can add a message on LinkedIn. And this is what they decided to message me in order to convince me to connect with them.
Am I gonna read it?
Yeah, you want to read it?
Hello, Luke. I see we share a similar passion for business. I'm positive we know someone in common too. So if you're open to it, let's connect, Luke. Warmly. I think I read that right, knowing that he ends with warmly.
I just love the fact that we have 4 people that that have common connections. It's the simplest thing in the world. I mean, I bet there's scripts for that to actually just put in the name of someone, of someone you're connected with. It's the simplest thing in the world to say, "Hey, I know so and so. Let's connect. Let's talk."
I actually did that testing out a software that I own. I did it where I was testing it out its abilities to on Facebook to like reach out to friends, like send friend requests in the first message. And I was able to set it up where, because I'm just targeting people who have this friend in common, like, hey, I saw that you're friends with so and so and figured that we should connect.
Yeah.
Got a great response rate. Like the funniest one was how many people responded and were like, oh yeah, I've never actually talked with so and so. We're just Facebook friends, but what do you do? Like it was such a common response I got.
Yep.
It's like that's fun.
Yep. Yeah,
Super easy
and so
to do.
that's why I'm just like, it's so, like, what you were trying to do was so easy. And you missed. You just missed. You swung and missed. And also the fact that
I'm also going to go out
they
on
do.
a limb, and I'm just going to say, business owners of any form do not have a similar passion for business as you do, unless you're literally in the same industry, in which case, I see you have a similar passion for dog care as I do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't have a similar passion for business.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's just, and then the fact that business capitalized just, and there's not a comma for Luke. But the thing I love is that I have no idea what this person does because LinkedIn cuts that off. So I have to go to their profile, look at their profile to see what they do.
What they do is they help agency owners and consultants automate the process of booking qualified leads online.
Is it leads? You want to take a bet on whether it's leads?
It's going to be leads, appointments, or customers.
I'll look right now.
It's going to be. It's actually, I'm going to say leads or appointments. Leads or appointments. Those are the options.
Let's say qualified appointments. Oh,
What?
Devin,
I know the
you win.
industry.
You win. You win this round.
But you know what? The fact that I can predict that proves my same point I made on the last guy.
Yeah.
Like, you're probably not very good at your job.
Without paid ads. That's hilarious. That's actually. I did not expect you to actually get that. Well, I should not have underestimated you, Devin.
Right?
I think that's yeah. So I mean, usually you're underestimating me, but it's my turn this time. Anyway, I think that's a good place.
I've never once underestimated you. I properly estimate you, and you're disappointed with the result.
Okay, that's a good place to end this episode of Bad Cold Outreach. Stay tuned next week. We'll have another episode coming at you. Maybe with some of your own bad cold outreach or good cold outreach.
Hit us up on clientvendingmachine@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And we would love to tear apart any of the bad cold outreach that you've gotten, or you can go ahead and write up what you want to send, and then we can critique it, and we can tell you why it sucks or why it's awesome, but probably why it sucks, because
it's literally free coaching. That's kind of what we're doing for the cost of entertainment. Better come with thick skin, because we will tear you. No, we won't. We'll be.
I will.
Just as I will. Devin's. The funny thing is, if you look at us, most people think I'm good cop. I'm not. I'm bad cop. But anyway, dude, it's been a day.
It's been 23 minutes. What are you talking about? That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
I know. Okay, so he's actually gonna keep all this in because Luke talks in the middle of things like he's gonna do editing, but then he doesn't. So
we'll see. I put them at the end, like this one is gonna be right before the end.